Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, ladies. Good morning, and welcome back. Okay. Yes. Now, before I continue, does anybody have any questions? Anything somebody wants to ask? Mr. Zanoda. Here goes. So we just left with, well, okay, we can say it's okay, two functions of the receiver that we need to discuss. Now demodulation. Okay. And voila, okay. Now really something that's going to be like, okay. First of all, this is not adjustable. This is something that pretty much occurs automatically happens. The second is that, okay, it doesn't have any effect on the image, but we can make it as, okay, it's just a process that's going to just, okay, be carried out by the receiver to make the you can say it's okay, the electrical signals you can say it's okay that the electrical signals actually is okay will be able to turn into, yes, okay, what you can call images on the display. The details of, okay, yes, what may happen to the electrical signal, all the data and so on, so is processed. That's something that we will talk about in the next chapter. But yes, okay, there was a procedure of the receiver that would be called the demodulation, and we can say it's okay. This is going to be a process of two phases. So demodulation actually is okay, is carried out in two phases, or we can say it's okay. Processes are being carried out, which actually is okay, makes up what we will call demodulation. The first process of demodulation is what we will call is okay, rectification. Right. The first phase or process of demodulation will be rectification. Where we can say is okay, the second process of your demodulation is going to be as okay, what we will call smoothing. Now, smoothing may also be known as enveloping. Okay, so these are the two processes of demodulation where we are. Okay, now what we really can say is that okay, yes, rectification, that's going to be as okay, the first process. Now, what is it that rectification is? Now we can mainly say that okay, yes, for instance, okay, we have a well, okay, yes, to begin with was okay, it was a sound wave that okay, yes, returned back from the tissues in form of reflections, which had okay, yes, a certain intensity or power, or we can say as okay, amplitude. Okay, that electrical, so that sound wave becomes a electrical signal, and that electrical signal, yes, okay, will be like this. Or we can say it's okay, the electrical waves. Now our rectification mainly is going to be, now just okay. It's okay. Now here we says okay, these waves here, these were the positive electrical waves. Because that's okay, the positive part of the electrical wave, waves, we can say is okay, this part here of each wave is going to be, it's okay, we can say it's okay, the negative electrical wave. So positive part of the electrical wave, the negative part of the electrical wave. Now our rectification mainly just is going to be, we can say it's okay, the process of is okay, rectification is carried out. And what we mainly end up having as a result of that is now we can say first of all, yes, okay, this was still yes, okay, worked yes, okay, before the rectification were the positive charged waves. Clear? Whereas this was what previously was the negative charge or negative part of the electrical wave. So we can mean says okay, what happens in the rectification is that the negative waves actually is okay. Well, I can say okay, are going to be okay. We can say are rectified, which actually is okay, makes them become as okay, practically as okay, positive waves. But the reason I still, yes, okay. So, yes, okay. Color them, yes, okay. Pink, 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 pink here is mean, yes, okay. Just tell you, yes, okay, that this wave here, for instance, you can just leave this one 1. This one here 2. This one here is 3. This one here is 4, actually is, but here was 1, 2, 3, and 4. Did that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So yes, okay, what mainly yes, okay, was negative just becomes positive as a result of rectification. Right. So you can mean it says, okay, the negative electrical wave means yes, okay, just flips and become positive wave. So this whole thing here is okay, that was what we called rectification. Did that make sense? Now we can mainly say it's okay, that we mean it's okay, can just take okay as this rectified signal here. Okay, and we just do as okay as we did before. 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay, now this is the order you can say it's okay. Rectified. Now it just needs to be smoothened out. Okay, and okay, yes, just so we yes, okay. Still know what happened. That's okay. These were the electrical waves which originally yes, okay, were positive charged. These here is okay were the negative waves which became rectified and became positive charged. Yeah. Now we can make it as a work. Now it's going to is okay undergo what we will call smoothing and or enveloping. Clear. So what would that smoothing or enveloping be? As a result of smoothing or enveloping, what's going to happen is that they actually is okay getting close like this. Okay. So you can say it's okay, mainly because it's okay, otherwise it's okay, it would have been, you can say it's okay. Bumps, 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 bumps. Okay. So pretty much okay, yes, they are covered up in, okay, yes, a coloring, or you can say okay, a smoothing, or as okay, are enveloped together. Okay, now some of you will go as okay. Does anybody know what an envelope is? Does anybody have any idea of what an envelope is? Yes, ladies. Does anybody know what an envelope is?
Like the envelope that you put in a letter?
Exactly. Now, what does that envelope do?
It enclosed the letter.
It
Like
closed them. Okay, you can say it's okay. Well, okay, you could have written a letter on okay, yes, 5-6 pages, right?
yeah.
But you mean it's okay, just put them together. So that's probably as okay, and then close them on okay, yes. Okay, so that's probably okay why they called it enveloping. But you can maybe say, okay, what happens as a result of, okay, yes. Just give me a second. Sorry, this. Okay, but you can also say it's okay as a result of, okay, yes, because it's okay, this group of yes, okay, electrical waves here, it's okay, being enclosed is that okay, yes, or envelope is that okay, yes, the bumps, that is okay, these bumps here is okay, becomes smoothened out. So this was okay. So this was pretty much okay. Yes, what we could call yes, okay, the whole process of demodulation. Clear? Okay, and where does this one here happen? It still happens in the receiver. Okay, but what it was okay, as a two phases process where the first phase was rectification and the second phase was smoothing, also known as enveloping. Okay, and we can maybe say, okay, the whole purpose of okay, yes, the rectification was to, because it's okay, maybe it's okay, prepare the electrical signals. Okay, to be, yes, okay, you can say to, yes, okay, be ready to get converted into image information that actually is okay, can be displayed on your monitor. Okay, even ladies, that's okay, the computers that you guys are using right now. So you can say it's okay, see the it's okay, attend the Zoom session here has rectifiers. Okay, because that's okay. Primarily, that's okay. Your system runs on electricity. Okay, you yes, okay. Your internet may get some sort of okay, yes. You can say yes, okay, signal. Okay, but for that signal to be as okay, you can say it's okay, displayed on your monitors. It has to go as okay through the same process as here, rectification. Okay, so you also find as okay rectifiers in things such as TV sets, etc. Okay, because okay, they just receive as okay some sort of okay as electrical waves. But then comes the question as okay, this electrical wave here needs to be converted into something that can be displayed on the screen so that you'll be able to see it. Now, is there anybody who has any questions? Okay, so yes, okay, pretty simple. Now, girls. Okay. The last function of the receiver is reject. Clear? Now, reject, you can say it's okay, let's just get okay as the synonyms out of the way first. So reject can also be known as threshold. And it can also, yes, okay, and suppression. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. So please, as I said, anything that goes under more than one name. You got it, yes, okay. Yes, okay. Remember that, okay, yes. Well, okay, yes, the main term was reject. But we also call it threshold. We also call it suppression. Now, before going into yes, okay, the actual details of what reject is, we can just say, yes, okay, let's just ask this question here. Is this adjustable? Which means, yes, okay, what I mean by being adjustable, that's okay. Can we control it? And the answer for that is yes. Okay. Now, some of you will say, well, okay, how do we, yes, okay, adjust or set the rejection or the reject or threshold or suppression? Now we can again say, yes, okay, that we have our, we can say, yes, okay, keyboard with the different knobs, right? Okay. We had depth. Okay, we have, okay, that's our different modes. We have, for instance, B mode, color flow, pulse wave, M mode. Like this. Okay, then we have, okay, as our 4 or 5 knobs here. And then, okay, now on top of this is, okay, we have this screen. Let's say was a touch screen. And pretty much, okay, as on this screen here, yes, okay, you will find a window that says reject. Okay. And mostly as okay, there will be as okay 2 arrows. In most systems, yes, okay, the arrows that you may see, yes, okay, on the window of reject goes right and left. Let me just change the color here. Where, okay, yes, the arrow that points right mainly will mean that we can say, okay, that will mean that, okay, so if you touch that, that will increase your reject. Whereas, okay, yes, this arrow here is, okay, that will mean should decrease the reject. Okay. In some systems, that's how it goes. Okay. In some cases, okay, if you say it's okay, let's just say that, okay, this was the, that's okay, touch function of, let's say it's okay, which was labeled as reject. Well, okay, yes, it may have 2 arrows. The one is going to, it's okay, be pointing up, which is obvious that that will mean, yes, okay, anything that goes up will mean increase. Anything that is okay goes down will mean to decrease. Okay. So that's okay. Your function of reject mainly is going to, yes, okay, be found on that touch screen right on top of your console. Is that clear? And the main thing is that, okay, as you mainly is okay, just you can say it's okay, slightly tap on it. If you tap here, what happens is okay, the reject will increase. If you tap here, it's okay, the reject will decrease. Or likewise, it's okay, if you tap on this one, it's okay, the reject will decrease, or tap on this one here. There are the 5 faces that way. Well, yes, okay, decrease. Is that clear?
Yes.
Now, ladies, the whole, that's okay. Now, why is it that we need the function of reject? Or we can say, okay, what's going to be is okay, the purpose of this whole function here. The main purpose of, yes, okay, the function of reject, or we can say, okay, the function of reject of the receiver is to eliminate noise. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, earlier, when we talked about, yes, okay, the functions of the receiver, I said, now, where is it that we most likely, yes, okay, may produce noise? Is going to be, yes, okay, during amplification. Why? Because amplification, yes, okay, what that had was, what we can say is, okay, an even or equal signal to noise ratio. Okay, which means as okay, we could say as okay, the more we amplify, yes, okay, there's going to be, yes, okay, increase in the intensity of the signal, which means, yes, okay, we'll just make the signals become bright. But we also had an even and equal, yes, okay, production of noise. Okay, now it may, yes, okay, happen, even though, yes, okay, inspire a pre-amplification, that we have to amplify the image to an extent where, or you can say amplify the signal, sorry, to an extent that, okay, yes, we have, yes, okay, some interference of noise. Well, it's okay, because, okay, noise is, okay, yes, being produced and is seen on our image. But that's then going to, yes, okay, be a good thing that we actually have, okay, as an additional function, which means, yes, okay, well, probably not completely eliminate, but that's okay, at least we can say, okay, minimize the amount of noise that we have on the image. And that is going to be, as okay, what we will call reject. Did that make sense?
Yes.
Right, okay. So yes, okay, mainly that's okay, just show you ladies, that's okay. The other day that, okay, yes, if you find this, okay, say, okay, we have an image. Now, mainly we can say, it's okay, what ideally is okay would have been, is okay, the actual image or actual signals is okay, which I mean is okay, are a product of is okay, amplification. Okay, but that is okay, it might as okay be interfered by noise. Which means as okay is going to appear as okay as a whole lot of okay as white dots on your image. Okay, which you now can see as okay, well, usually as okay the effect of green, the green color here, which we see as a noise. It's okay, it means it's okay, covers up a lot of the details on your actual image. Okay, so the full purpose of okay reject was just okay, eliminate as much noise as possible. Okay, so you can say it's okay, as we go and okay, as increase our reject, yes, okay, we may, yes, okay, be able to eliminate most of the noise that we had on our image. And now it's going to, we can actually more clearly see the signal information, which is going to be as okay, or mainly as okay, will lead to as okay, what we'll call the meaningful signals that makes up our actual image. Okay. Now, one thing, because as we said, okay, as amplification was okay as even and equal. Now we said that that was even and equal in 2 ways. First of all, as okay, we said that it has an even and equal signal to noise ratio. Right, okay. Which mainly means that okay, as much as we okay amplify the signal, which will become as okay meaningful information to the image, there's going to be an even and equal production of noise, which at some point as okay is going to be annoying. Okay. Likewise, another thing that we said about okay amplification, where it was even and equal, was that okay, yes, you can say even or equal amplification of all reflections. That, for instance, okay, we had set our amplification at, let's say it's okay, 10 times. All the reflections, weak or strong, were going to just okay get amplified 10 times. And mainly as okay, just end up appearing as okay, brighter or less bright on your image. Okay. Then all this as I were also just okay said, and I can better my life. That I mentioned that noise mainly as okay is going to as okay because it's okay be due to low, or you can say very low intensity. Very low intensity. Let's say it's okay. Reflections. That actually is okay when amplified as okay becomes noise. But where we mainly can say it's okay that noise generally as okay is going to be as okay very low intensity signals. Did that make sense? And that's where it's okay, we can make that's okay, there's going to be an important point of is that what reject mainly does, well, okay, it was mainly as okay, designed to as okay, eliminate the noise. Which mainly is okay, or as we just said, here, were very low intensity signals. So what reject actually does, and by doing it, ends up eliminate noise, is that it only as okay, we can say okay, eliminates very low intensity signals. Whereas okay, yes, we can say okay, the strong intensity signals are left alone. Nothing happens to them. Did that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So we can maybe say, okay, what noise was? Well, okay, yes, they were low intensity signals. Okay, they were low intensity signals. Okay. The thing was, okay, the thing that made them, you can say, is okay, annoying. is first of all, okay, that they were, okay, as you can say, the persistent. Okay, continuous, always, okay, flickering as, okay, on your screen. And actually, it's okay, made your image, you can say, it's okay, less informative. You're not really going to be able to just, okay, get, you can say, it's okay, the required information, because it was just, okay, you can say, camouflaged or as, okay, interfered by the noise. So what reject mainly is, when it's mainly going to be a function that you say, okay, we need to get rid of this noise here. So then they say, okay, let's just, okay, establish a mechanism which is only going to just, okay, remove, yes, okay, the low intensity signals of the image, which means, okay, constitutes what's going to be noise, but it's not going to do anything to the strong intensity signals that actually is, okay, produced our actual image. Did that make sense? Right. So as many as, okay, because it is selective in that way that, okay, yes, its selection of elimination mainly goes towards, yes, okay, the low intensity signals. Did you ladies get that? Okay, so a noise necessarily doesn't have to be loud to be considered a noise. Okay. Usually it's okay, people will call us, okay, loud sounds, or says, okay, unbearably loud sounds as, okay, they will categorize that as noise. But it's okay, even it's okay, you can say it's okay, low intensity sound, but if it's constantly, it's okay, buzzing in your ear, it's annoying. Okay, it's the mosquito season. The mosquito season, you can say it's okay, a mosquito doesn't produce a sound that is equivalent to the explosion of an atom bomb. But it's okay, when they come and bzz, 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 right next to you, that's annoying. Right? And some of you may ask God on Day of Judgment, why did you make mosquitoes? And but how is it that the mosquitoes, yes, okay, was able to, yes, okay, out of all the parts of our body, why did they have to come and sing, yes, okay, the national anthem? The whole ears. Okay. So yes, okay, here you can just say, yes, okay, it's just like, okay, as the noise produced by a mosquito, which is, okay, low in intensity. So that is a reject. So reject is only going to, yes, okay, eliminate, or we can say, yes, okay, suppress, because we also call it suppression. Or yes, okay, strange enough, is also called threshold. Okay. Is going to, yes, okay, eliminate the weak intensity signals. Did you ladies get that?
Yeah.
Good. Now, ladies, just just so that you are, or should I say, warned or informed, a similar function of like reject is going to, yes, okay, be brought up in another chapter. So if you understood reject, it will be easy for you to just understand that topic when we get to that chapter. Okay. So when we get to that chapter, when we get to that topic, I will say, well, okay, this is just very similar to just what we had as reject in B mode. But here's that same function is being used in another mode. Clear? Okay. Here we may just just as low intensity signals. In that case, it's it's not going to be as low intensity, but it's going to be something low. Another parameter that will be just because it's wiped out or eliminated from our recordings. Okay, so please make sure that you just understand your reject. Now, any last words of wisdom? So reject was made as just to remove noise. And what was noise? Noise mainly as was constituted of low intensity signals. Clear. So as you can say, it is a selective, removal or filtering out of signals from the image, which will be as low intensity signals, and it leaves, you can say, that great intensity signals or strong signals intact. Okay. Did that make sense? So we can say, the weak players, let's put it this way, all kind of players would like to be a part of the team, right? But when they run trials, they will say, these are the good players. These are the strong players. Those are the ones that we will be able, we can say, we'll take into our team. And the ones who, you can say that have a poor performance, or here we can say, are weak signals, are filtered out. Or they may say, well, this time we really can't take you on the team because your performance is so weak. So they are rejected out. Did that make sense? So whether you want to say that it filters out the weak signals or it eliminates it or whatsoever, but that's made as what the whole function or purpose of reject is going to be. Well, ladies, these were your 5 functions of the receiver. Why did we call it a receiver? Mainly because that was going to be the component of your ultrasound system that will receive the electrical signals that were produced as a result of as the conversion of the reflections. Clear? But as you said in the beginning, that the intensity of these signals here was as so weak that had it not been for us the receiver, they were not going to be as you can say strong enough to produce an image that could be displayed on the monitor or screen. And we would not have had a picture, if you want to put it that way. Okay, so the first thing that needed to be done was amplification. Every signal that comes is magnified and magnified equally. Yeah. Now, what we should know is that, okay, as different tissues or boundaries, if we want to put it that way, will produce reflections with different intensities. But we say, as okay, amplified by this many decibels, well, okay, that's going to be okay, the amplification that all of the signals will get. Or we can say like amplify 10 times. So every signal is going to just okay become 10 times stronger as it gets amplified. Right. Okay. In some instances, okay, that amplification might not be enough. So that's why we had compensation as another function. The compensation mainly as okay was what you can say is okay. We can put it in two ways. We compensated for the attenuation. Okay, that's a simple way of looking at it. Okay, where we as okay, mainly would know that okay, as the sound travels deeper and deeper and deeper, it will attenuate more and more and more and more. Which may mean that okay, yes, those signal needs to be more and more and more and more compensated. So that's why they also call it depth gain compensation. The reason that they call it, that we use the word gain in terms of compensation is that, okay, it is a form of amplification. Because practically, as okay, what the word amplification means was to enhance, to increase. Or what we did here is okay, we enhance, we increase the intensity of the reflections. Okay, but we can set the level, we can set the degree of okay, compensation. As desired at specific depths. Did that make sense? Then we had compression. Now, what compression mainly is going to is okay. Do is yes, okay, we can say it's okay. Make us as okay, set, we can say it's okay, the contrast, or practically is okay, more correctly as okay, the grayscale that may be suitable for the image. Okay, there you can say it's okay. On one side of the grayscale, we have black. At the other side of the grayscale, we have white. And we can have, okay, as bigger or lesser grayscales. We'll talk more about that in chapter 15. And as a matter, yes, okay, 16. Okay, so far I said for now was, okay, the main thing that you need to remember was that compression, that is pretty much, okay, how we set our grayscale. And by doing so, it's okay, set or adjust the contrast of our image, or contrast of the different shades of our image. Then we had demodulation, which was a two-phase process. First was rectification, where negative waves were converted into positive waves, electrical waves, okay. Second step was smoothing or enveloping. Okay, where these rectified, okay, where this unit of waves, which okay, yes, okay, were rectified now. X is okay, B is okay, smoother is okay, closed in an envelope. Last was reject. the remaining said, well, okay, yes, the weak players of the team, or okay, who wanted to join the team, are eliminated. What did we call these weak players here? Yes, okay, they were noise. Clear? Okay. If you took them on a team, they may actually, that's okay, interfere with the good play of the good players. And okay, yes, then eventually that's okay, your team could lose. Any questions? Now, girls, the units for respectively as okay, your amplification, compensation, and compression were going to be expressed in decibels. So the unit of all these three fellows here was going to be decibels. You will see it in chapter 16 that, okay, yes, when we talk of dynamic range, which was means, okay, just another way of, okay, yes, our mechanism by which compression, sorry, yes, okay, was performed is going as, okay, that dynamic range is also going to be expressed in terms of the unit of decibels. Okay. Anything. So that's okay. In your book, on page 234, yes, okay, you have a table of the 5 what we call it, yes, okay, receiver functions. Okay, but just a summary. So yes, okay, we can say yes, okay, that's going to, yes, okay, or we can actually, yes, okay, use this here as a good revision tool. Okay. Any question, ladies? Any question, ladies?
No.
Okay, girls. What you girls can do is try to, yes, okay, read a little bit on your receiver functions. And I see you girls back in, should we say 15 minutes, and then we go on to dynamic frequency tuning. Okay. Unless you guys have some questions. Okay, ladies. Welcome, Big Back Book. Now, does anybody have any questions about the receiver functions?
I have a question.
Yes, that's it. Please.
So the receiver has the noise because of low intensity from the reflection, right?
Mhm.
So but pulsar, it also has a noise, right? And it's from electrical.
No. My dear, if you look at the word pulsar, just like beamer, you can say it's okay, pulsar. Yeah. Just like what we call beamer, or we could say it's okay, beam former. Now, what your pulsar was going to be, may it's okay, do things related to the pulse. So the three functions that, okay, your pulsar will set in relation to the pulse is going to be as okay, the PRP. Did that make sense?
Yes.
Good. Next, that's okay. Whenever you say PRP, that's okay, you can't avoid mentioning PRF.
Yes. And amplitude.
Okay, so these two, yes, okay, are pretty much, you can say, okay, interlinked. So what your PRP is going to be, that is set by the pulsar. Clear? And by yes, okay, doing so, yes, okay, it also sets the PRF. The last thing was going to be as okay, we can say as okay, the amplitude. Now they just used the word amplitude, but as okay, what we already know is that amplitude actually means is going to be as okay, related or directly related to power, which also is going to be as okay, directly related to the intensity. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Good. But when we say that, okay, yes, this amplitude or power or so on, so intensity is determined by the pulsar. This is going to be as okay, the actual amplitude or the power or intensity of the pulse. And the pulse that is going to mean is okay, be what will be transmitted. So what the pulsar determines is, but okay, as I'm going to, well, okay, eventually as okay, the transducer is going to, as okay, send out a pulse of sound waves or cycles. Now, what is going to be the amplitude? Big amplitude, small amplitude. Or we can say, okay, what is going to be the power of the cycles in this pulse? Or what is going to be their intensity? So what the pulsar mainly does, that's okay, when we talk about is okay, amplitude and so on, so on, so it's going to, it's okay, we can say it's okay, determine the intensity, the power or amplitude of the sound waves that will be transmitted. So that's just okay. When we talked about yes, okay, the pulsar, that means yes, okay, going to yes, okay, be related to yes, okay, what we can call the transducers output. So the energy that the sound wave that is transmitted or sent out by the transducer, that intensity is going to, yes, okay, be determined by the pulsar. Did that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, now you can have okay a high intensity, or you can have a big amplitude, which mainly will mean that that sound wave will have a great power. Or yes, okay, you can say it's okay, it's going to be as okay a sound wave with a high intensity. And or vice versa.
So it's improving the ratio only because you can make amplitude larger, bigger.
Now, what we said was, if we first, yes, okay, increase the power output. Okay, our transducer's output. Made as okay by increasing power output by as okay, and telling this pulsar, well, okay, you need to send out sound waves with a great amplitude, with a great power, with a great intensity. But that increasing of the intensity or power or amplitude of your cycles in the pulse wave would do is that would actually is okay eliminate, or because it's okay, we can say reduce the production of noise.
Production from where?
Yep.
Like production from where? Where it can come from?
No, because listen, what is it that you do? Where the noise comes from, that's going to be as okay, we can say, because, okay, let's do it this way. Let's take two examples, my dear. We can say, it's okay. Same patient, same scanning. Exactly. This was your tissues, right? Okay. Now, in this case, is okay, we can say it's okay. We have a great transducer output. Where, okay, we can just say that in this instance here, so okay, we will have keep a low transducer output. Clear?
Yeah.
Which may literally mean that, okay, as this greater transducer output will mainly mean that, okay, as that the sound wave produced by the transducer will have a great amplitude or great intensity and or great power. Did you get that?
Yes.
Whereas, okay, yes, this here will mainly mean that, okay, yes, that the sound waves that's okay produced by the transducer will have low amplitude, they will have a low power, and they will have, okay, as a low intensity. Now, whatever the power was, let's just, for an instance, say that, okay, yes, the power in this case, yes, it was 20 milliwatts. And here we have, okay, a low power, which will be let's just say, okay, 2 milliwatts. Did that make sense?
Yes.
Right, okay. Now, what do we have here? Now we can say, okay, each of these tissues here, or tissue boundaries here, okay, will have their own, we can say, okay, IRC. Which may literally mean all dependent upon the amount of energy that they're going to, yes, okay, be hit with. There's going to be, okay, a certain percentage of that energy that is going to get reflected back.
Yeah, I understand now. So production, it means like you mean the low intensity from reflections.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Okay, now we can say, it's okay, now it was the same tissues. So we can say, it's okay, if they have, let's say, it's okay, the same, they're going to have, it's okay, the same IRC. or intensity reflection coefficient. But mainly because you can say it's okay here, because of a great power output. This tissue here is okay, is bombarded with okay as 20 milliwatts. Let's just say that okay, yes, it has okay as an IRC of, let's say it's okay 1%. Now that will mainly mean that okay, yes, we can say it's okay that the reflection produced here would be 0.2 milliwatts. Did that make sense?
Yes.
Whereas okay, down here, no, sorry. What was our intensity? It was 2 milliwatts. We say it's the same patient, it's the same tissue, it's the same everything. The only thing that happened was that we just changed the intensity of the pulse. So that's okay if it's going to just okay have an IRC of just okay, just 1%. 1% of what? 2 milliwatts. So that's going to, you can say here the reflection is going to be 0.02 milliwatts. Now, obviously, my dear, when looking at these two, you can mainly say, okay, this one here will need lesser amplification. Where this one is okay, where this signal is okay, will need more amplification. So with lesser amplification, what is it that we end up having? Lesser noise. As we know, that's okay, the more we amplify the signal, that's going to also increase, okay, produce more noise. Did that make sense?
Yes.
Or as they may, that's okay, also say that, okay, yes, your transducer's output, the transducer output have, okay, as a great signal to noise ratio. Which may mean that there will be as okay, more production of signal and less production of noise. But when comparing these two, yes, okay, transducers here, yes, okay, scannings here, mainly because in one we, yes, okay, have a high power output, whereas in the other we have a low power output. So here is okay, there's going to be as okay, a greater likelihood of production of noise compared to, yes, okay, this kind here. So indirectly by saying, yes, okay, we can, yes, okay, get rid of the noise. So we can say, okay, pretty much, okay, reduce the production of noise by keeping, yes, okay, the power output high. Now what the power output is going to be, or transducer's output, etc., is mainly going to be, yes, okay, what is the amount of energy that the transducer will send out. Now the pulsar produce that or send that energy out in form of an electrical signal. It just gets converted into a pulse in the transducer if we are using a pulse wave transducer or an imaging transducer. Did that make sense here?
Yes, thank you.
No problem. Yeah. Anybody else? Anybody else? Okay. So noise was okay, as you could say, it's okay, a co-product of amplification, if you want to put it that way. We increase the intensities of the noise or sound or signals. But in doing so, that's okay. The other side of the coin was that it also is okay, produced noise. Okay, girls. So we can hop on to the next topic, which is going to be, okay, dynamic frequency tuning. Now, mainly girls, okay, listen. 2 words that we just need to just, okay, explain. We should already by now know, yes, okay, what do we mean by frequency, right? I hope everybody knows what a frequency is by now. Number of cycles per second. Now tuning. Well, okay, maybe it's okay, we can say it's okay, just a way of, okay, as adjusting. Because it's okay, adjusting to the, because it's okay, ideal setting. That's pretty much okay what tuning is. So you can say it's okay, you adjusting your amplification, for instance, could be tuning of the amplification. Because you say, well, let's say it's too bright. This is too dark. So it's okay, you playing with the knobs is actually, it's okay, you tuning to a setting that, okay, has makes your image become ideal. Okay, where you adjust your reject, your amplification, your compensation, etc., etc., etc. Okay, but yes, okay, for the frequency tuning, yes, okay, that's not really something that, okay, yes, we will be able to adjust by ourselves. Okay, but yes, okay, it is going to be, yes, okay, something that will continuously change. That's what I said earlier in okay, that the word dynamic mainly means, okay, something that is continuously changing. Now, what is going to just, okay, continuously change here? When we say it's okay, dynamic frequency tuning, That thing that is going to just, okay, continuously change will be the frequency. Now, girls, if you remember, I told you ladies yesterday, please make sure that you read on your bandwidth. And that way, it's okay. You may be, it's okay, guys. You can say it's okay a little bit. It's okay. You can say prepare for this topic here. But it's okay. You also, it's okay, get a chance. It's okay, devise a topic. Now, is there anybody who will be able to tell me, it's okay, what a bandwidth was? Is there anybody who can say a single word about bandwidth?
Is it the difference between the maximum frequency and the minimum frequency?
Exactly. Okay. So you can say, okay, it will be, it's okay, the difference between the maximum frequency and the minimum frequency. Clear? Which mainly or mean that, okay, yes. That will mean, yes, okay, happen when, okay, yes, a transducer has more, okay, produces sound waves of more than one frequency rate. And as a matter of fact, yes, okay, for our imaging transducers or pulsed wave transducers, but we mainly said that, okay, yes, that one had a broad bandwidth. Or if you don't like the word broad, well, okay, yes, you can use the word wide bandwidth. It may or mean that, okay, yes, when it's a broad bandwidth or a wide bandwidth, that actually it's okay, will be a great difference between the maximum frequency and the minimum frequency. Did that make sense? So we may, as okay, say that, okay, now, for instance, the transducer that we may use here is okay, have a frequency that, okay, is on the maximum side, maybe it's okay, as high as, let's say it's okay, 10 megahertz. Whereas, okay, it's at the minimum side, maybe it's okay, as low as, let's say it's okay, 4 megahertz. Very is okay, just can say that, okay, so in this instance, yes, okay, our bandwidth is mean, yes, okay, just going to be 6 megahertz. Okay, but now yes, okay, are looking at, yes, okay, a range of frequency where, okay, this is the lowest, this is the highest. Frequencies of the transducer, where the difference between these two is going to be considered the bandwidth. Now, the main point, ladies, that you girls will have to just okay remember for dynamic frequency tuning, because okay, this is your image. We can mean it says okay, as we go from here to here to here to here, to here, to here, to here, to here. In this direction here is okay, that's mainly going to be okay, because that's okay, increase in depth of image. Okay, so this is going to be okay, our final image. But literally what we actually can say is that, okay, as this image here is going to okay, be formed of sub-images. Where, okay, as one part of this image here is going to okay, be made by the high frequency waves. Some parts of the image is going to okay, be made by okay, as a lower frequency wave. Some part of the image is going to be made by an even lower frequency wave. Some parts of this image is going to be made of by the even lower frequency wave. Lower frequency wave. Lower frequency wave. And if we made it okay, just can squeeze one in the middle because it's okay. Lower frequency wave. Of your bandwidth. So practically the goals, what we can say is that the high frequency or the maximum frequency, which in this case is okay, was 10 milliwatts, not 10 milliwatts, 10 megahertz, sorry. Will produce just okay, the superficial most part of the image. As you can say, okay, now already we had less than that. We might have had a frequency of, let's say, 9 megahertz, which will produce this part of the image, followed by 8 megahertz, followed by 7 megahertz. I guess that's okay, followed by okay. This, there we can see this, and this, and okay, just like this. Did that make sense? So you can measure, okay, this maximum frequency is going to, okay, we can say, okay, produce the superficial. Somebody doesn't like the word superficial. You can say it's okay, shallow part of images. Whereas, okay, as the frequency in the band range or in the bandwidth, that's okay, gets lower and lower and lower and lower. It makes up just okay, deeper and deeper and deeper. parts of the image. I guess I ran out of space. Well, anyways. Just continues to greater depths. And okay, yes, this one here, which was the lowest. Just go to greater depths. Did that make sense? So that was in this chapter here, referred to as dynamic frequency tuning. Now, of course, the same concept. The same concept is going to just be brought up as soon as the next chapter, and it's going to be where we can call it frequency compounding. The very same thing. But where we mainly says that the system actually uses the bandwidth. Or we can say the different range of frequencies produced by the transducer to just make up the image limits. Where the essence main is going to be that the high frequencies, you can say the higher the frequency on your bandwidth, the more shallower the part of the images that it will be producing. And there's anybody who can give me the explanation for why or how or why?
Maybe because the high frequency attenuated first.
Exactly. So this high frequency sound wave here is we'll not be able to get all the way down here because it attenuates here. Likewise, this, which is, you can say, will have been 9 megahertz, or in the range of 9 megahertz, for instance, we attenuate at greater depth. Well, this one here is will attenuate at the shallowest depth. Clear? But if we said, what if we just, increase the depth of the image beyond the point to which is the 4 megahertz, the sound wave with a 4 megahertz frequency was able to travel, or beyond its level of attenuation. Well, ladies, this area is just going to appear black. Because you can mean that even the lowest frequency of your bandwidth attenuated at the depth beyond which we were scanning. Let's say this for instance was a depth of 10 centimeters. But if you increase the depth beyond that, well, yes, we're not really going to get anything. Because no sound wave actually is will be able to travel beyond, let's say, 10 centimeters in this case here. That's where you go to 11 centimeters, where you increase it further, even just to 12 centimeters, you may go even to 15 centimeters. The only thing that you will achieve is that as more and more deep part of your image actually ends up becoming as showing no reflections at all. That makes sense.
Yes.
Okay. Any questions?
No.
No. So is this part clear? Are you girls clear about just okay dynamic frequency tuning? And I already says okay, the same concept. Generally, SOK is going to SOK be brought up in the next chapter. Under the concepts, okay, what we call frequency compounding. Okay, girls. We just left with okay as the last topic. Of our chapter here, which is mainly going to be SOK, what we can say SOK comparing SOK, what we call the pulsar output. Or SOK, as they say in the book, SOK power output. We could also call this one as okay, the transducer output, acoustic power, blah blah bleep bleep blue blue. It has that whole list of things. For me, it's okay. We just compare that to it's okay what we'll call receiver gain. Now, what was it that receiver gain was? That was mean it's okay, just another word for your amplification. I guess, okay, the reason that they use the word receiver or term receiver gain here instead of amplification was mainly that's okay too. You can say it's okay, give us a hint that okay, this was something that was going to happen or occur in the receiver. And the clue that we will need to check from that is that it happens after reflection. Or we can say it's okay in the system. Let's just change that. We can say it's okay, it happens in the system. Now, there was mainly it's okay, two things that we could do. We could either have a greater pulsar output or transducer output or power output. We could also, yes, okay, have a great receiver gain or amplification. Or we can increase them, if you want to put it that way. The other thing that we could have was, you could have, okay, as a low pulsar output, or low power output, or transducer output. Or we could decrease it. Likewise, okay, we can also, okay, decrease our receiver gain or amplification. Or have a low receiver gain or amplification. Now, ladies, if we, for instance, said that, okay, yes, that we had a high power output. What would that generally lead to? Now, what that mainly will lead to is generally as okay that is we can say that are going to be as okay an increased brightness of image. Why is that? I mentioned that earlier. Because we mainly said, okay, that one mean is okay, what we just did here. Then we said, okay, yes, we had this transducer where we have a great power output. We transmit out a lot of energy, a great amount of energy, as these comparing to this one here. So whatever is okay, that energy, which is going to be greater than we have down here, will hit a tissue boundary. Each tissue boundary is okay, may have okay as their own, is okay, intensity, reflection coefficient, and so on. So are going to just okay reflect a certain percentage of the energy that have been hit by back in form of a reflection. But as I have been saying, yes, okay, ever since chapter 6, that okay, as the greater the intensity of the reflection, the brighter is it that it will appear on the image. So yes, okay, if you bombard, it's okay, if you hit a tissue boundary with a greater amount of energy, it will produce a reflection with a greater energy as well. And when those, yes, okay, get back to the system, yes, okay, they will actually, yes, okay, ultimately produce an image with a greater brightness. Why? Because the reflection has a greater amplitude. And that greater amplitude will be translated into, yes, okay, more brightness. So overall, yes, okay, your image is going to appear brighter. Did that make sense? Did that make sense?
Yes.
Right, okay. Now, as far as the receiver gain or amplification is concerned, was this able to, yes, okay, make the image become brighter? Of course it was. Especially as okay, if we, for instance, okay, increase the receiver gain. We mainly mean, okay, we increase the amplification of the reflections. Now, whether they came back from, yes, okay, from a strong transducer output, or whether they came back from, yes, okay, a weak transducer output. The difference here is, okay, as we already said, that, okay, as if it is a weak signal that was being transmitted, that will probably, as okay, need more amplification compared to, yes, okay, this image up here, where, okay, our output signal was greater, okay, which would then need, okay, lesser amplification. But by increasing the receiver gain, which we mean is, okay, that's called, also called as, okay, amplification. Okay, that is, okay, which was mainly as, okay, controlled by as, okay, our B mode. And where the B actually is, okay, tells us that increasing on our B mode actually is going to, is, okay, we can say it's, okay, lead to an increased, or we can say it's, okay, great brightness of the image. Did you guys get that?
Yes.
Which mainly is, okay, then just on the other side would mean that if we, is, okay, send out a pulse with a lower power output, what would that do? And please keep in mind here, is, okay, we are not talking about, it's, okay, in this case, okay, we are not adjusting the amplification. But if we reduce the power output, what that means is, okay, generally will lead to is that, okay, yes, that there's going to be, yes, okay, we can say it's, okay, a reduced brightness of the image. Or by way, it's, okay, reducing the power output, we can actually, it's, okay, reduce the brightness of the image. Similarly, ladies, as, okay, if we reduce the receiver gain of an image, or we can say, okay, whatever is, okay, reflections come back, that is going to, yes, okay, a reduced reflection. Or we can say, okay, we decrease on the B mode. What I said was, okay, as when we turn, yes, okay, the B mode, if we decrease it, that means, okay, that's going to reduce the amplitude of the reflect, or we can say, okay, the amplification of the reflections that return back, which means that's, okay, generally lead to, yes, okay, that the image is going to, yes, okay, that there will be, yes, okay, reduced brightness of the image as well. If you guys don't like the word reduced brightness, well, okay, yes. If you want to, yes, okay, you can always translate that into greater darkness or greater darkness. Or you can say, okay, the image actually becomes more dark because it becomes less bright. Did that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now you can say it's okay, greater power output, that will be me as okay, turning on $100 light bulbs. Now, if I turn on 100 light bulbs, the room may become bright. Not just bright as okay, and I mean, it may be as okay, too bright. Okay. Or what I can say, well, okay, 100 bulbs, but that's okay. Even if it was not bright enough, we can actually say, well, okay, let's use not just 60-watt bulbs, but actually it's okay, 1,000-watt bulbs. So amplify. You can say it's okay, the brightness that each bulb is going to be using. So both of these two here, okay, as you said, can lead to that the image becomes too, yes, okay, increase in brightness. Where, okay, reducing on both of these two here, okay, whether it was power output or whether it was receiver gain, also known as amplification. If you reduce on those, either one or the other or both, will, yes, okay, cause the image to, yes, okay, become less bright or more dark. Did that make sense? You girls get that?
Yes.
Good. Now, because let me just shift over to another slide. We'll come back to this one in just a sec. Because there's something that they call the, oh gosh. Yeah, yes, it's okay, the Alara principle. Now, ladies, if you look up in, okay, as any dictionary and say, okay, what does Alara stands for? You probably won't find it. Okay, so Alara goes is actually, it's okay, just an abbreviation. Okay, and it actually is okay, Alara actually is okay, stands for as low as reasonable achieved. What would that mean? Oh, why the Alara principle? The whole essence of the Alara principle is mean is okay to say, to get an image that is, we can say it's okay, bright enough. Or then I say bright enough. Let's say it's okay, have the correct brightness. Which means it's okay, where it's okay, the essence of reasonable achievement. Okay. And as low as possible. Exposure of the patient. to, in this case here, you can say, okay, sound energy. Now, some of you will say, okay, why do we need, or why is it that we are striving for a low amount of energy or exposure as possible? Because that's okay. Because it's okay, greater exposure. Which you know mean greater amount of energy. As it travels through the patient, that's okay, will lead to, that's okay, greater amount of absorption. And that greater amount of absorption, is okay, will become greater heat production. Because, okay, that absorbed sound energy actually is going to be converted into heat energy. And the more heat energy is produced in the tissue, yes, okay, there's going to be, yes, okay, a greater likelihood of, okay, what we can call as, okay, biologic effects. That the tissue or that the sound wave or sound energy may, yes, okay, will be able to, yes, okay, affect the tissues. So mainly, yes, okay, due to that, we will say, yes, okay, we will still want to, yes, okay, keep the exposure of energy, yes, okay, as low as possible. Primarily, yes, okay, to reduce, yes, okay, the amount of energy that will be absorbed, which, yes, okay, mean will lead to, yes, okay, lesser heat production. Because that lesser heat production will lead to, yes, okay, because it's okay, a later likelihood of biologic effect. Or bioeffect, as you call it. But what do we see here? That this reduced exposure here, that's means, okay, what we have here. When we reduce the power output. Okay. Right. And what can that lead to? Reduce brightness of the image. Now, in both cases here, it's okay, what are, yes, okay, the two scenarios we can have. We can say as, okay, too great power output may cause that, okay, as the image is we can say it's okay, too bright. We can also say it's okay. We may even have, okay, as an image that is too bright as a result of too high of a receiver gain. Whereas, okay, on the other side, we can say that, okay, yes, in this case, yes, okay, the image may be too dark. The same may happen here. That, okay, as the image was too dark. Did you ladies get that?
Yes.
Right, okay. Now comes the question that, okay, if you have an image or if you have a scenario where your image is too dark, or so let's say too bright to begin with, or there could be two reasons for why your image was, you can say it's okay, too bright, right? Either yes, okay, your power output was too high, or your receiver gain was too high, right? That could be yes, okay, the only two reasons why yes, okay, your image was too bright. Which means to me that okay, since there was two reasons why that's okay, or possible reasons that your image was too bright, you can say, okay, there will be two ways to fix it. Okay. One way to fix it was mainly as okay, we can say, okay, or mainly as had been to as okay, either you reduce the receiver gain. And by decreasing or reducing the receiver gain, as okay, it may just become, we can say, okay, ideally bright. Or as the Alaris principle says, okay, reasonable, achievable. That part. Likewise, you can also say, okay, reduce your power output. Okay, so your image was too bright. Another way of, okay, yes, correcting that was, yes, okay, that you could reduce the power output. And that would mean, yes, okay, that's going to cause that, okay, as your image is okay. Due to that, may, yes, okay, get the right brightness. But our LR principle said is okay, as low as reasonable achievable. Which mean okay, yes, keep the patient's exposure to sound energy as low as possible and still try to get okay an ideal image. So both of these two functions here is okay, or both of these is okay. Yes, okay. Could be as okay, adjusted and okay as reduce the brightness of your image to just get right. Okay, but the one that should be done first, or we can say is okay, adjusted first, to try to bring the image to the right brightness. If it was too bright, it's going to be as okay to reduce the power output. This here will be as okay choice number one. And why is that? Because you can mainly say, yes, okay, by doing so, yes, okay, you kill two birds with one stone. You reduce the brightness of the image, which you just said was too high. So that's okay, that reasonable, achievable. But at the other hand, or at the other side, what is it that you do as well? You reduce the amount of exposure of the patient to sound energy. Which is in accordance with the Alara principle. Did you girls get that? Did you girls get that?
Yes.
Now just the opposite scenario. Because, okay, we said, well, okay, Scooby-Doo, what do we do? If we find yes, okay, because, okay, we could have two scenarios, yes, okay. Or we can say, okay, well, two scenarios. We had images where it's okay, it was too dark. Now we already know, yes, okay, why would be the reason that it's okay, our image would be too dark? Either because it's okay, the power output is too low. Which mean that, okay, yes. Why would the images be too dark then? Because, okay, the intensity of the reflections produced by that low amount of energy, yes, okay, being transmitted from the transducer is too low to, yes, okay, produce what we can call, yes, okay, meaningful, or at least reasonable, achievable reflections. Other reason could be that, okay, as our B mode was turned down too low as well. Or because, okay, whatever signals came back in form of reflections was not getting amplified enough to produce, yes, okay, something that will appear as, okay, as a good reflection on our image. So you can make it as, okay, the image was going to be too dark. Now again, ladies, that's okay, the question just arises. Because, okay, there were two reasons why the image was too dark. But which of these two here is, okay, will be the best one to, let's say, as, okay, adjust first and try to, yes, okay, get, yes, okay, the ideal image. That was just going to be, as, okay, ideally bright. There could be two things that we could have done. Okay, we could increase the power output. If you want to, yes, okay. You could also, yes, okay, increase the receiver gain. Because both of these or either of these mainly as, okay, we'll call that, okay, as the image is going to appear more and more bright. Did that make sense? But again, yes, okay, in the light of the Alara principle, our question is, well, okay, yes, we have two options, but which one is the right one to go with first? Should we increase the power output? Will that brighten the image? Yes, it will. Should we, yes, okay, increase the receiver gain? Will that brighten the yes, okay, image's brightness? Of course. But then we also have to think Alara. That way you say, okay, now if I increase the power output, what is it that I'm going to do? And okay, yes. To achieve, yes, okay, an ideally bright image, yes, okay, I will increase the patient's exposure. And that increasing of the, yes, okay, patient's exposure is contradicting the Alara principle. Especially as, okay, you want, yes, okay, let's say, yes, okay, make an image more bright. So it's okay. In that case, that's okay. The first choice will be to increase your brightness. Oh, sorry, increase your receiver gain or amplify the signals more. How do we do that? Mainly, it's okay by turning the B mode knob clockwise. Okay. But ladies, yes, okay, it is all a matter of tuning. Because you can say that on the other hand, if you keep on turn, yes, okay, amplifying, at some point, yes, okay, you may end up, yes, okay, getting more noise. So that may be the point where you say, well, okay, maybe this was enough of too much amplification. Let me just, okay, try to just, okay, increase the power output a little bit. Did that make sense? So it's all a matter of, okay, yes, tuning to achieve, yes, okay, the ideal image, because that's okay, in this case, yes, okay, with the ideal brightness. Okay, but you don't want to go on unlimited on your amplification and produce, as okay, a polluted image. So the matter is made as, okay, what to do first in either case. So if your image was too dark, the first best action to perform is to increase your brightness. Sorry, not brightness, sorry. Amplification. How do we do that? By your B mode knob. Whereas if your image was too bright, one thing that you could do is, okay, reduce the power output. Okay, but what you may see as you reduce the power output, well, okay, yes, the image is okay, may become, yes, okay, slightly darker, slightly, but then all of a sudden it's okay, you have a lot of noise. So yes, okay, you want, yes, okay, reduce the noise as well. Well, okay, as you can reduce the B mode. Okay. So it's going to be as okay, a lot of okay, tick, 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 playing with your knobs and buttons. Because okay, you only want just okay, you can say fine tune it or adjust it to the right setting. Did that make any sense? But for now, ladies, it's okay. What you just will be asked about is, well, be yes, okay, the ideal choice to do. So image, if that is too bright, first choice in the light of okay, as Alara principle, reduce power output. Image is too dark. In the light of Alara's principle, increase the B mode, increase your amplification. Or we can say receiver gain. Did I made myself Clear. Yes. Abby, how clear?
I get it.
No, you get it, but how clear?
Very clear.
Very clear. Okay. Clear just like a crystal, right? Crystal clear? All of a sudden, yes, okay, the sound attenuated. Okay, girls, but this was all that I could offer for chapter number, what the blue? Chapter 14. Okay. Now, yes, okay, there are, okay, yes, a couple of questions. But should I give you ladies? Okay. We have 9 questions, and then there's 3 questions, which is 1 question. Okay, let's see, there should be some questions in the back as well. Implementation. In bits and bytes. Okay, so in the back you have from question 409. To 437 as well. So should we say that I will see you ladies back at 12:30ish? And by then, it's okay, you could have your lunch and, well, let's say 12:45. So have your lunch and try to just, okay, see you in between the bites, kind of, okay, chew on the questions as well. Okay,
Okay.
good, buddy. Okay, ladies, welcome back. And let's see. Let's see what we can do. So we can say it's okay, we will be on page 236. And start off from question number 1. Now, question number 1 reads, all of the following are components of an ultrasound system, except from. Now, if we look at the first one, it says transducer. That's okay. That's a part of the ultrasound system. Alternator. No, okay. Now, ladies, alternator, that's something that you find in your cars. Okay. Display is okay. That's going to be your screen. Pulsar is okay. We talked about that. Synchronizer, well, okay, as it was mentioned in the list, although it's okay, it doesn't give us okay as an explanation about it, or we didn't discuss the details, but at least okay, as it was a component, and then we had the receiver. So the only one here that is not a component of the ultrasound system is an alternator. Okay. Mainly because it's okay, all the other terms we either have heard of or we are going to just okay hear about them in upcoming chapters. Question number 2. This type of pulsar continuous, okay, what you can say, generates a continuous electrical signals in the form of a sine wave. Now, girls, the word here is in, okay, a constant electrical signal. Which will be as okay a continuous wave. Okay. Now, pulsed wave and array. Well, okay, pulsed wave it can't be because it's constant. Okay, pulsed wave and single crystal. Again, yes, okay, mainly because it says okay a constant electrical signal. That constant electrical signal directly means that's okay, continuous wave. Did that make sense? Did that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Jim. Question number 3. This type of pulsar generates a single electrical spike, which ultimately creates a single sound pulse. Now, well, okay, yes, we can say, okay, a single electrical spike. Or like this, or whatever. Okay, which, yes, okay, generates a single sound pulse. So the single sound pulse due to, yes, okay, a single PCT. Did that make sense? Now, single, that's okay, electrical spike, that's okay, mean is okay, could be as okay, one pulse. Okay. But then it also is okay, said, which actually, or we can say one spike is okay, makes one pulse. Okay. But it's okay, that single pulse is okay, also will be as okay due to as okay, a single PCT. Did that make sense? So pulsed wave. And okay, a single pulse because of single PCC. Now question number 4 reads, this type of pulsar generates numerous electrical spikes. Now once we see it's okay, numerous. Electrical spikes. What does that tell you? That you mean yes, okay, how? I guess it's okay, multiple channels. Did that make sense? And those multiple channels will then lead to, okay, which ultimately is okay, creates one single pulse. Okay. Whereas okay, single pulse or whatever number of pulse is going to be as okay, because it's okay, pulse wave transducer. But here it's okay due to the numerous or multiple electrical signals. That will mainly mean that we have multiple channels. And where do we have multiple channels? In array transducers. Did that make sense?
Yes.
Good. Next question, number 5. Okay, let's get to some real stuff. The acoustic power of an ultrasound beam emitted from a transducer is determined by the dash of the pulsar signals. Now here's okay, the answer is within the question itself. The acoustic power of a beam is emitted from a transducer is determined by the dash of the pulsar signals. Now the pulsar signal that's going to determine the acoustic power. It's going to be we can say the electrical energy. Okay. But only one here is that makes sense with electrical energy is going to be voltage or volts, as we may call it. Or as we said, the greater the voltage, the greater will be the acoustic power or the power of the electrical signal. Okay, and that was mainly determined by the pulsar. Well, we said it mainly as by adjusting our pulsar output. Which ultimately is becomes just the transducer's output. Did that make sense? Did that make sense, ladies?
Yes.
Good. Question number 6. All of the following are functions of the receiver except from. Now here we have 4 different functions. And this is all of them. So it's going to be 3 of them which are functions of the receiver, but there's going to be one which is not a function of the receiver. So we can say, okay, demodulation, was that a function of the receiver? Yes. Okay. Suppression, was that a function of the receiver? Yes, it was. And some of you will say, well, okay, that was not a function of the receiver that starts with S. Well, okay, this was actually, yes, okay, just your reject. So you can see, yes, okay, it is important to, yes, okay, know those other nicknames or synonyms for different things. Then we say, yes, okay, amplification. Is that a it's okay function of the receiver? Yes, it is. But just keep in mind, go, yes, okay, this amplification it could also have been worded as okay, receiver gain. But the reason that they probably, yes, okay, didn't put the word receiver gain as because the word receiver had been you can say it's okay, direct gain of A. The only function that is not performed by the receiver, at least from this list here, is attenuation. Where does this happen? Where does attenuation happen? Since it doesn't happen in the receiver. Yes, ladies, where does attenuation happen?
In the medium?
In the medium. Which medium? What is our medium? You are correct, Abigail, but okay, yes.
Tissue.
Tissues, exactly. Yeah. Question number 7. Place these functions in order in which the ultrasound systems perform them. Now, girls, just okay, when we started talking about, yes, okay, the receiver functions, I told you that, okay, as they were not only as okay, arranged in an alphabetical order, which, okay, is mainly, okay, maybe easy for us to just, okay, remember them. But it is actually as like also in this very same order that the processes are being performed by the system. So the first was amplification. The next one was compensation. Then we have compression. Then we have, okay, yes, demodulation. And last we have reject. Okay. Amplification is C as in cat, sorry. Compensation is E as in elephant. Compression is D as in dog. Demodulation is B as in boy, and reject is A as in apple. So that was the actual order in which, yes, okay, the functions of the receiver are performed. Once a signal, or as you can say, it's okay, a reflection is received. Did that make sense? Yes, okay, remember them in, okay, as in an alphabetical order, make sure that, okay, you're not going to be able to just, okay, miss out on one of them, but also as, okay, what comes first, followed by what, followed by, followed by what, followed by what, followed by what. So again, yes, okay, just like the alarm principle, that's okay, we kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Question number 8. And okay, that's my favorite variety of questions. Okay, now be careful here. Amplification. Also known as receiver gain, right? Right, okay. Processes all reflected signals in a similar manner. What they mainly mean by is, okay, similar manner is what I mean. Yes, okay, said it was even or equal. And that's what it is. Okay, if it amplified a signal, or if one signal was okay, as you can say, amplified, let's say 10 times, that was going to happen to all of the signals that were reflected. So that's what makes it true. Did that make sense?
Yes.
Good. Question number 9. Again, true or false. No, yes, okay, here it just asked the very same, but just in terms of, okay, it's compensation, right? So it's going to be true that compensation, yes, okay, processes all reflected signals in a similar manner. Or as we said, okay, evenly or equally. That was false. That was the whole essence of compensation. That, okay, yes, some signals may need more compensation, some signals may need less compensation, which mainly cause that, okay, yes, that will not be equal or similar manner. The signals that needed, yes, okay, more compensation was, because it's okay, deep reflections. Reflections returning back from greater depths, whereas, okay, as those of lesser reflection or compensation was going to be as okay, we can say more or less, okay, the superficial. Or if you don't like the word superficial, you can go shallow reflections. Reflection that return back from superficial or shallow depths. Did that make sense? So here, yes, okay. That becomes false. Now, please, ladies, keep in mind that, okay, yes, compensation can also be called depth gain compensation. It could also be known as time gain compensation. And then the US, okay, had, okay, as a fancy word for it, swept gain. I think Attilava. Clear? So you can get the same question, well, yes, okay, where the word compensation is replaced by depth gain compensation or time gain compensation, or US, okay, as crazy a term as swept compensation, or swept gain, sorry. Did you ladies get that?
Yes.
Good. Now on page 238, we got just okay 3 pictures. Now the first picture is something like this. More or less. And then we just make it, okay, we just have okay, it's a super bright streak across here like this. Now, which we can mainly say it's okay. Now, yes, okay, all these 3 pictures, okay, that we have here are not ideal. Let's just be honest about that, okay? They are not ideal images. Yep. So what they mainly is okay are asking us okay for the first one, which is like okay something like this, and they mainly is okay ask us okay which of the following choices is the best. Please keep in mind, girls. Yes, okay, best. When your image on your ultrasound system display reflections only in the region from the only in a region or in a far in a region far from the transducer, but no reflections or reflectors in a region too close to the transducer. And that's why it's okay. You can make it okay that they made it okay explained your image here because okay, you can make it okay in all this area is okay, there's no reflections. Or at least, well, okay, visible, right? There's only going to be as okay in the far zone, in the far area. Here that we have reflections visible. Now the 3 or the 4 options that they have given us is, can we correct this by us okay adjusting the system's compensation? Can we use a higher frequency transducer? Will this be corrected by us okay decreasing the output power? Or will just okay something like okay as adjusting the reject level corrected? Now, ladies, the option or the best option here is going to be, or we can say, okay, actually, in this instance, okay, the only option is to adjust your compensation. We may say that, okay, it's down here, yes, okay. Well, okay, yes. Or down here, it's like this great depth here, okay, we have a okay compensation. But we still may need to, yes, okay, we can say, okay, increase the compensation in this area here because it might have been, yes, okay, too low of a compensation. So if yes, okay, that may cause, okay, as in this area is okay, we still don't have any reflections. Clear? The reason that, okay, yes, using a higher frequency transducer would be the wrong answer is that, okay, yes, we may use a higher frequency transducer, but whatever causes that we then may, yes, okay, lose this because of the low penetration of the high frequency transducer. Decrease in the power output. Well, okay, ladies, that's just going to make it even worse. First of all, it's okay, in decreasing power output is not going to just okay correct this, rather vice versa. And what we actually is okay, also we get by decreasing the power output that this part of the image here also will disappear. Not disappear, but actually it's okay, it just become blackened out. Obviously. Why? Because okay, the amount of energy that we send in is reduced. Okay. Now, mainly because there's a lesser amount of energy, it may not even reach down to these depths here. Because it already is okay, attenuates at okay, as let's say shallower depths. And adjust the reject level. Okay, now here we is okay, this is not an image that is affected by noise. So that's pretty much okay, how that is not the answer. Did you ladies get that? Any questions? Now the next question, or the next image for 2. And what we mainly see here is, which of the following is the best choices when the image of your ultrasound is saturated? Or we can say it's okay, too bright everywhere. So what we mean is, okay, are dealing with here is an image that was too bright. Did that make sense?
Interesting question.
No, not to you. Yes, my dear. Clear? And if you look at the image, yes, okay. Well, okay, yes. You can say, yes, okay, it is pretty much okay, yes. A scanning of the same structures that we did over here, but that's okay. Here, the setting is just messed up in a hurry. So that image is too bright. Now, option number A, decrease the amplification or gain. Well, okay, yes. It says decrease. Or decrease, no? Amplification, or what we also call gain. We already know, ladies, that okay, yes, this one here is going to just okay reduce the brightness. So let's just keep this one here as okay in our mind, because okay, it is because it's okay, a correct answer. But what we are looking at is the best. So the next option is using use of a higher frequency transducer. That is wrong. That is not going to just okay correct the brightness. First of all, because okay, brightness was related to yes, okay, things such as power, amplitude, and intensity. Frequency is not related to your power, amplitude, and intensity. So they're right. That relationship means okay, straight away makes this option here the wrong answer. Decrease the power output. Now we already also know that okay, a decrease in the power output also is okay, we reduce the brightness of the image. And the next one is just okay, adjust the reject level. That would not be the case because it's okay. This is now what noise looks like. So here we actually have, yes, okay, two options that could reduce the brightness. But that's where we go and say, okay, now which of these two here is the best? This one. Why? Alara. Did you ladies get that? Both of them were right, but the best answer was to reduce the power output. Any question, ladies? Any questions? Oh, yes, okay, our last image. And we can use, okay, what do we have? Okay, this looks pretty dark. Now, which of the following choices is the best again? When the image of your ultrasound system displays only reflections very close to the transducer. So it's only going to as okay, be in this region here that we have reflections. That we see as okay. At least in this instance, as okay appears bright. Whereas okay, anything beyond this point here is, you can say it's okay, pretty dark because it's okay, there is no reflections. So can this get corrected by as okay, we can say it's okay, adjusting the compensation? Will that correct it? Of course it will. As a matter of fact, that's okay, we can make it as okay, we might have to, yes, okay, increase the compensation at this depth here to make it, yes, okay, start showing reflections. Clear? So that's okay. A best answer could be, yes, okay, increasing the compensation. Okay, because okay, if you get the same image and okay, yes, there's an option that for instance has said decrease the compensation. That was just going to, yes, okay, be completely wrong. Because that was just going to make it even darker. Even if you had, okay, yes, some slight, yes, okay, reflections. That decrease in the compensation was made as okay, just going to, yes, okay, make these weaker reflections here, yes, okay, completely, yes, okay, go lost. Use a higher frequency transducer. That's completely wrong. Because, okay, this might be as okay, the kind of image that you got if you had used a high frequency transducer. Where you can mean it says, okay, that okay, as the depth of your image is beyond, yes, okay, the depth at which to which the sound wave will be able to travel. Have we not had this option here? It's okay, let's say it's okay, adjusting compensation. Then okay, a right answer could have been something like, okay, yes, decrease a lower frequency, or use a lower frequency transducer. Because that lower frequency transducer will be able to just, okay, transmit sound waves to greater depths. And okay, yes, eventually it's okay, you'll get some sort of reflection. So that could have been a right answer. Increase the output power. Now, yes, okay, my dear, yes, okay, that can, yes, okay, call that, okay, yes, the image will get brighter. But that's not the solution here, mainly because, okay, there's still, yes, okay, some part of the image where we have some reflections. So that mainly means that, okay, yes, it's okay, yes, this one here is a 50-50. Okay. Adjust the reject level. Well, okay, that's completely out of question because, okay, we have no noise. So the best option that actually is, okay, will fix this problem here is to just, okay, adjust your compensation. Or we can say, okay, more correctly, is okay, increase the compensation. Because adjust is okay as a two direct or bidirectional term. Okay, you can either increase or you can decrease. So as you be given, let's say it's okay, the same picture on a test, and when they say it's okay, decrease compensation, well, that's just going to make it worse. Okay, worse than it already is. So the best answer is, okay, adjust compensation, or that's okay, because that's what we have. But if you have, okay, increase compensation and decrease compensation, then okay, let's increase compensation. Super mooper best. Did you ladies get that?
Yes.
Yes. And yep, these will be, we can say, as okay, kinds of questions that you may see on your boards. A lot of images. Okay. So yes, okay, the first thing that you may, yes, okay, like to do is when you look at an image, not just for tests, okay, please, as I said, I've been keeping on saying, don't make the purpose of this course here is, okay, to pass a test. That's not the goal. The goal is that you girls be able to just, okay, understand what you are doing. Okay. But you can mainly say, okay, the best way to correct a thing is you say, well, okay, what is wrong with this? Clear? You see a picture, you say, okay, what is wrong with this picture? Next is, okay, now they have given you, yes, okay, some options, yes, okay, we're doing this corrected, we're doing this corrected, we're doing this corrected, we're doing this corrected. And that's when you may go and say, well, okay, no, doing this will not correct it, doing that will definitely not correct it, just make it worse. This corrected, maybe, so and so. So that's why. So you know that's okay when you see something, okay, what would be as okay, you can say the immediate best action to take. Did that make sense? So ladies, that's okay. Doing ultrasound is just like driving a car. You see a traffic jam ahead, you probably as okay would like to slow down, right? Okay, now comes the question, how do I slow down? Yes, okay, I take my foot off the gas. Something like that. Okay, ladies, let's go to page 507 in the back of the book. Page 507, and okay, yes, we are at question 409. Now again, ladies, that's okay, pretty much okay, a similar a similar question to yes, okay, what we had earlier. So where me is okay, just ask yes, okay, which of the following is not considered a component, sorry, ladies, a component of the ultrasound system? Now, master synchronizer. Now, I know yes, okay, that was the last component written in the list in the beginning of the chapter. So yes, okay, that's a part of your ultrasound system. We said pulsar, yes, okay, that was the first one in our list, or second one, sorry. Okay, the first one was transducer. And then we had a receiver. And then, okay, I don't think we have come across a term that says, okay, image intensifier. So, yeah, that's not a component of your ultrasound system. True and false. Or her intent. So it is true or is it false to say that the pulsar of a mechanical transducer is more complex than the pulsar of a phased array? Okay, ladies, that can't be more false. There isn't anything that can be more false than that. Okay. Because, okay, you for your mechanical transducers, okay, the pulsar main is okay, just needs to send out, or eventually it's okay, will become one pulse that will stimulate, okay, at this one PCT crystal. Whereas, okay, in our array transducers, what do we have? Multiple PCTs that needs to be as okay stimulated. Okay, so that's okay. When there's more than one, it becomes as okay more complex. So that's okay. Sorry about a dumb question to ask, at least by the author. 411. What is a typical pulsar? Okay. Okay. Sure. Okay. what is a typical pulsar output voltage that excites the piezoelectrical crystals? Okay, probably not something that you will be asked, but okay, as it says, 40 volts. Clear? Okay. So yes, okay, that's the answer. So I guess okay, that's the typical, yes, okay, electrical signal. Well, again, it says okay. Yes, okay, strength of the electrical signal, yes, okay, produced by the pulsar. That can almost light up a bulb. Question number 10, 410. 12, sorry. Now, what is the typical voltage of the signal that is the input to the receiver of ultrasound system? Now, what I say is okay is going to be as okay, fraction and fraction and fraction of okay as your output signal. Okay, but again, yes, okay. What they mean is okay, it's going to be as okay 10 microvolts is the right answer. But again, yes, okay, as I said, probably not a question that you will be asked about. Question. Okay, question number 413. Now the output of an ultrasound pulsar determines the dash of the acoustic pulse. So the mean is okay, this output of the pulsar. We can say it's okay, low or high. Will determine what of the acoustic pulse. Now, what the book kept on saying was amplitude. But we don't see the word amplitude here. But we see something that is directly proportional to amplitude, which is the intensity. So that becomes the answer. Now, not imaging depth. Clear. Imaging depth would have been a correct answer if they had talked about things such as the PRP, or you could say, okay, the time between pulse to pulse, or PRF, number of pulses per second. Okay. And duration. Now, the duration of your acoustic pulse, that is actually, it's okay, what we call the pulse duration. And that is not determined by the pulsar, that is actually just okay, determined by the transducer. So that's where that becomes, or you can say, okay, is considered as the wrong answer. Is that clear? Did that make sense, ladies?
Yes.
Good. Question 414. Okay. Now, which of the following does not belong to the group below? Now, what are the options that we have? We have something that we call receiver gain. What would be another name for receiver gain? We call that amplification. The next option is, okay, yes, I'm just going to abbreviate it. Energy output. The next one is pulsar power. The next one is, okay, yes, acoustic power. Sinka. The next one is, okay, yes, transmitter output. And the last one is, okay, yes, output gain. Now, ladies, all these terms here are what we call as, okay, transducer output. Which primarily is, okay, as we already have said, was determined by the pulsar. That's why I said pulsar power. Whereas receiver gain, well, okay, what it says, okay, was as far as the receiver is concerned, okay, that was going to determine it. And gain was gain making. But some of you will say, okay, then what about this gain here? Well, okay, it still says, okay, output gain. So it means, okay, where it's going to just, okay, be sent out as a signal from the transducer. So B, C, D, E, F, G, or EF, yes, okay, main is okay, all meant the same thing. Where the only one that was, okay, as isolated, didn't belong in this group here was receiver gain, which we call amplification. Did you ladies get that? So when I told you that, okay, yes, this transducer output, as the heading says, has a lot of, okay, synonyms or nicknames, as I used to call them, or akas, that they, yes, okay, that you need to know all those. Okay. Question number 415. Not to answer a question like this, but it's okay, they may ask you about pulsar output or transducer output, but it's okay, use another term from that greater or smaller list. Now, it's okay, is it true or false to say that we can, it's okay, adjust power output or pulsar output? Could we adjust that? Of course we can. So it's okay, your pulsar output, power output, transducer output, output energy, transmitter output, output gain, all those, it's okay, could be adjusted. So that makes it true. What was adjusting the power output going to do? Two things. That's okay, it would change the brightness of the image. It may also, you can say, it's okay, change, okay, determine the amount of, okay, as exposure of energy to the patient that the patient have or experience. And okay, yes, in between the lines, that's okay. It may also is okay. We can say it's okay via a little okay, other way of okay is getting rid of noise. Question number 416. Now, which of the following actions will improve the signal to noise ratio? Now we say it's okay, when we say it's okay, improve the signal to noise ratio. Just remember as okay, what was going to be as okay, an improved signal to noise ratio. That was going to be as okay, a great signal to noise ratio. Meaning that okay, that gets improved. Is that clear? Now, increasing your dynamic range, will that do it? No, your dynamic range has nothing to do with the signal to noise ratio. Your dynamic range is mean as okay, just your compression. So that is not going to just okay, it doesn't really have any relationship to your signal to noise ratio. Increase the receiver gain. Now, ladies, what did we mean by receiver gain? What did we mean by receiver gain?
Amplification?
Huh?
Amplification?
Amplification. So was amplification, or increasing amplification, was that going to just okay, increase the signal to noise ratio? No, because amplification had an even or equal signal to noise ratio. So by increasing it, okay, the receiver gain, well, okay, we increase the signal, but it's going to be an equal and even as okay, increase in noise. So that's not going to lead to improvement. Increase the output power. Okay, we just did, I just answered that earlier. And increase output power. Is going to just okay, increase the signal to noise ratio. Increase time gain compensation. Now, time gain compensation or compensation as such has no relation to your signal to noise ratio. So that's why that is out. So dynamic range has nothing to do with the signal to noise ratio. The only two factors that okay, may affect your signal to how it has an influence or relation to your signal to noise ratio was the amplification and okay, the power output. And by improving me as okay, more signal, less noise. Where do we get that? By increasing the power output. So the next question, 417. Which of these functions are performed by the receiver of an ultrasound system? More than one answer may be correct. Is amplification performed by your receiver? Yes. Is threshold performed by the receiver? Now, some of you say, well, okay, I didn't see the word threshold in the list of functions or processes performed by the receiver. So you may as okay omit that one. A threshold. Maybe that's okay, or just another name for reject. Yes, okay, reject is okay, that was a receiver function. Compensation, well, okay, of course, that is a receiver function as well. And demodulation is a receiver function as well. So here is okay, all whether it was amplification, threshold, compensation, and or demodulation, they all were functions of your receiver. Clear? Did that make sense? And it asks this, have you been given, yes, okay, the same options? And okay, yes. But it says, okay, which is going to be the function of your beamer? It would be none of them. What about your pulsar? Is your pulsar going to, yes, okay, perform amplification, threshold, or reject compensation and or demodulation? Yes, ladies. Yes, ladies. Do you think any of these functions here are performed by your pulsar?
The four of them?
Yes. Amplification, threshold, compensation, and demodulation. The four answers that we have in question 417. Do you think these are performed by your pulsar?
No,
No. Why?
because it's a function of receiver which receives the echoes.
Okay. So
Also
what were the functions of your pulsar then?
sending the electrical signal.
Okay.
And then if there is the beamformer, then it's distributed down to the channels.
Okay.
But all echoes that
Let's see,
refer
Anna, what are the functions, or we can say, okay, what are the factors determined by your pulsar then?
PRF, PRP, amplitude,
amplitude. Okay, so don't fall for amplification. Right, okay. Okay, question 418. Which of the following task is not performed by the receiver of an ultrasound system? Now, rectification indirectly is made as, okay, is a function of the receiver just coming under the umbrella of demodulation. Is that clear? But it's still, yes, okay, it is still a receiver function. Smoothing, well, okay, the same. It's still a receiver function, but again, yes, okay, just like rectification coming under the umbrella of demodulation as well. Then we go compression, yes, okay, that was a receiver function. And the last is, okay, degaussing. I don't know what the blue that is. If that is you, is that going to be, it's okay when you take gauze off a patient's wound? Well, okay, if that becomes a function of the receiver, then yes. Okay, so I don't know what degaussing is. I've got to be honest about that. So, but it's okay, A, B, C, whereas okay, the correct answers A and B, whereas okay, meaning it's okay, just two sub-processes of your demodulation. Question 419. So true and false. The sonographer can adjust the receiver gain. Can we adjust receiver gain? Of course we can. So that is true. How? By your B mode knob. Clear? Okay, Lee, so from question 420 and onwards, is going to be, it's okay, your jobs to try to answer those questions. Abigail is here. Tatiana is here. Nicole is here. Anna is here. Dr. Chang is here. Jennifer is here. As always. Mariana is here. Alexandra is here. Marissa is here. Dr. King is here. King, very good. And where is Dr. Shak is here too. Okay, ladies. So that'll be your homework for the weekend. And I would recommend that you go start just okay doing your revisions as well. Okay. Because it's okay, your quiz or midterm is not going to be postponed as much as 1 second ahead. So I guess I see you ladies on Monday. And yeah, let's see what the difference. Okay,
Okay.
have fun then.
Thank you.
Enjoy your
You're
weekend.
welcome. Yeah. Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.